Let's go. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful blue sky. I cannot believe the day. Hi lovely people. Well, I'm outside today, as you can see, yes, with the gimbal, and I must remember to not move it so fast, although right now it's face tracking, so it's going to follow me kind of wherever I go, which is good. Not that I really want you to just see me, but again, it's a me video. And yesterday or the other day I put up a video of me using this gimbal and doing rather a terrible job, so I do apologise. I'm waiting on a selfie stick to arrive, which will help me tremendously to do better videos, but for now I'm kind of using this gimbal. Well, I have to move over here a bit for it to stay centered, but that's okay. I can hang in this spot. I want to talk about, man, I've got to find something else to say besides I want to talk about. Today's discussion from me is about being patient with your snakes. And I mean being patient with your snakes. Can you show a bit more of the backyard? No, you're just going to keep on showing me, aren't you? Well, sorry guys, it's me, and it's me in all, see, I have to hold it up. You know, vloggers hold it up. Yay! Check out what is happening all around me. Trampoline, nobody on it. Nobody's in the yard. Whoa. Something keeps happening. I don't know what it is, but something keeps happening. Or something keeps popping up on the screen telling me to do something. I have enough trouble remembering what it is that I'm going to talk about, let alone reading something tiny on the side there with my eyesight out in the sun. Patience. I have to use patience right now. Getting to use different technology bits and pieces that I have never used before in my life. And I don't know if I'll ever master it. I'll probably improve a little bit with each video I do, but I think it's going to take a bit of time, guys. So please bear with me during this patience time for me, and I hope you can find some patience time with me while you watch these videos. That patience with your snakes is one of the most important things that you'll ever do, and people often say to me, how long is it going to take before my snake is going to come out all by yourself? I'm limiting. The gimbal pan axis reached. Well, I don't know. Movement limit. Well, that's fine. I dig it. I understand whatever it is that you're trying to tell me. Sure. Okay, I get it. I got it. patience with them coming out all by themselves. And how long do we wait? How long do we do that for? How long, what if it's months before my snake decides it's going to come on out? I think when you get a baby, you do have to get them out yourself, because they need to understand that you will not do them any harm. They need to understand that you're their friend and all the rest of it. So, yes, you will need to get your babies out. Absolutely. And that is in that time when you were going in to clean up a mess that they've clean up a mess that they've made, to it's lots of pauses. I know, lots of pauses, guys. I'm sorry, because I'm thinking, because it's so important to get this right rather than wrong. So I want you, when you go in to get your babies, is to put your hand in and do a lot of that for a while. And that might be a week of, 2 weeks of, especially if you've got a little one that's hiding on you and they don't come out, or you don't see them out, but eventually you start seeing some level of curiosity from them. You want to see some curiosity, and seeing them starting to come out a little bit. Now, for each snake, that is extremely different for each one. I can't put a time frame on it for your snake, or I can tell you what my snakes were like. I still have Tessa. It doesn't often come to the door unless she needs to go to the bathroom. Sometimes in between, it is for want of coming out, I guess you could say, and she happily comes on out to me. But I don't physically actually always get Tessa out. She's a big girl, and I really don't want to be doing that. I say Lily's a big girl, but nowhere near as weighty as what my Tessa is. So, I do my best to explain to all of you my experiences and what I've been through and what I have done with each of my snakes. Have we got Shadow? See, everybody's making me rather paranoid, like in saying don't stand in the shadows and stand out in the sun and have the sun this way. Ta-da! Do you know how bright that sun is in my eyeballs to do this? Very bright. Actually, very bright. But I'll manage it. I'll squint and manage it. But yeah, I can only go by my experiences with my own snakes with you and share my experiences and the things that I have done. And one of them that I found has been so valuable is the patience of opening their doors and letting them make a decision to come out. Now, if you're worried about the fact that your snake isn't doing it yet, that it's been, a month, it's been 2 months, remember that you're still getting an element of handling time in with them when you get them out to clean up after them. That is still time with them. That is developing them, their sense of knowing you, their sense of smell of you, taste of you, the sight of you even. You know, they do get to know you, and that's that trust time. You know, once you have got them out, do a bit of handling time. Now, I've often, in that circumstance, you've got them out and, right, you want to put a little bit of handling time with them before you put them back to bed, so to speak. And they're panicking and they're worried and they're anxious and they're scared, and you can see that in them. I want you to handle them up to where they calm down and you start to see it. You know, okay, this isn't too bad. Nobody hurt me. I'm safe. All is good. I'm quite happy to be with this person. So you're lapping it up. You're really enjoying it too. Okay, so it's an experience for both of you to start really enjoying what is going on for you both. So, but don't overuse that. Don't over abuse that. Take a few more minutes of that mode with your snake and then put them home. In between, sit at their enclosure and open the door and get their water bowl out and change the water, and take the time to put your hand in and touch things and put your scent around their enclosure, because they will smell you hugely in there, which is not a bad thing. And I'll reiterate, it's not a bad thing. You have to look after this snake for the rest of your life. And you want it to be the most amazing, wonderful experience to have with your snake for the rest of its life. So to have a snake that will wantingly come out without force, without you putting too much effort into it, because you've remained patient with them, you have totally remain patient with them, it will pay off tenfold, and a snake that will come out and want to be with you. Now, they're the two main things I've used. Opening the door, sitting out the front, putting my hand in, touching their things, waiting patiently for that shy snake. I've not always had shy snakes. I've had snakes that sit there and watch me the whole time. Come out. What are you doing? I'm going to watch and make sure you don't take something that I love, maybe. I don't know. But, come out and check me out, and I see them following me. You have other ones that hide away. But eventually, it's a bit like a cat, curiosity, but it doesn't kill the cat. Doesn't kill the snake either. It's really good for them the more you see that. Eventually they come out a bit more, and they come out a bit more because they want to know, what are you doing? And yeah, if they're ones to bite you, snappy little snakes that we get, which is fine. When they're little snappy snakes, not so fine. When they're darn big snappy snakes, you do not want that. And why I believe it is so important to do this process first with them. Start at the very beginning, which is getting to know them by observing them in their enclosure, them observing you out of the enclosure. And people say, tuck them in a corner, don't put them in a high traffic zone. You don't want to frighten the living whatever out of them. You can get an enclosure, you can make a tub that is also an enclosure in the enclosure, so that they can go into that tub and feel even safer from whatever. If it's a glass enclosure, cover it in 3 sides, and have the door facing away from the traffic zone. I've never really bothered to say to myself, oh, this is a high traffic area, this is going to stress my snake out. I have not seen that behaviour from any of my snakes, so I can't. I do believe it would happen and could happen, but do everything you can. You know, put a towel over the front of the enclosure. The front door is just lifted up when you're going in to do something. But they still need to get used to you, the people around you, the movements around them, and they will. I'm not talking when they're really itty-bitty babies. You know, that's completely different. Generally, a lot of people get their bubs at 3 months old. You know, some people get them really as just a hatchling. And I would suggest that to be for most advanced people with snakes, especially if they decide not to feed for you and so forth. But otherwise, look, I'm boring you, and I'm not showing you anything, and I'm not even showing you a snake today because none of them want to come out. But I think you get the idea of what I'm saying, that it is all about patience. So guys, you take care of yourself. I was trying to think, what could I do in terms of a snake? Well, as you can see, I'm inside and it's much, much later. And I didn't mention earlier in the video about some of the techniques. Well, I did mention some of the techniques in terms of opening the door and, you know, putting your hand in and moving things around, which I think are very self-explanatory, basically. But I didn't mention the other things that you can actually do, which is for little ones that are a little bit, although Car isn't, so I'm probably cheating a little bit here with my boy, who is always, I'm using my camera, not my phone, for this video, so we can probably see little Car there's his tongue flicking. But you know, I rather than and sorry that I'm moving backwards at this particular point, because I was hoping to well, I can grab something. Oh, Jesse's poked his head out to say hello to us. Lily is already out and my lighting is not going over, you know, at this part of the room, so we probably will not see her that well unless I brighten this up for you. But Lily is up there laying in the corner, as she does, and of course then I'm going to grab something. Yep, a ladder that my birds use, but this is also a ladder that my snakes can actually use. So if I put something, which I haven't done very well, but you can pretty much well see that putting something like this, and my dog needs to go to the toilet. It's all happening when I pick up a camera. But putting something like this into the... You're a sticky nose, Missy? Oh, is she being broody at the moment and wanting to breed and do all sorts of funny things? But you know, I don't do this very often with Car in terms of I put a ladder in there or a stick in there for him, because he is generally quite happy to come on out and just crawl up onto my hand, or crawl out of the actual enclosure, and then allows me to physically just then you know, pick him up. So I'm sort of thinking to myself, you know, that's a strange object for Car, and it might be for your little one, or well, you couldn't let an older snake like Lily crawl on this because it would just fall. But you get the idea of giving them some ability to come out and reach something. You know, it can be put on a table, a chair, seat, anything, and you just leave it and walk away. And often your snake will feel so much more comfortable coming out that way than you physically going in and coming and making them actually come out. And it's a stepping stone. Of course, like I said, little Car is like, what is that strange thing that you've put in there? And he's gone back into his hide box, guys. So, but that's just a little bit that I wanted to put into this video, because I didn't do any footage with a snake as such. Did I, Jessie? Hey, you had a bit of a full belly. Well, they all did except Lily. And Lily didn't want to come out, guys. She, you know, she's normally one, she will be at a door when she wants to come out. And that's when I open the door and I let her come out. Very, very rarely do I ever open her door and make her actually come out. So use a stick. You use a bird ladder. You know, Car's little enough, baby's a little enough to use it. Anything that they can physically climb onto and come out. Once they're on it, you can just pick up that item yourself and hold it and allow your baby or your shy little snake or whatever to stay on that, and then slowly make their way to you. Eventually they'll make their way to your hand, your arm, to find out what it is more than anything. So I hope this helps for all those people out there that are saying, you know, my snake doesn't want to come out by itself, and when will this all happen? These are just a few things that you can try. The putting something in, you sitting there being patient and talking to them, just open their door and sit there and talk to them. Put your hand in, you know, all of that. It all helps. So that's just what I wanted to put in the video.